Hello, and welcome back to Technique Force Tutorials. In this video, I'll show you how to integrate different apps on your PursueApp using Integrately. Let's begin. So on your Integrately account and under My Automations, let's start by creating a new automation. So click on Create New Automation button. So what it basically does is, for example, we have two apps, App 1 and App 2. So if anything happens to App 1, so for example, you have generated data on your App 1. Every data that was gathered on App 1 will be sent out to App 2. So for example, the App 1 is our source and App 2 is our destination. And for today, that's going to be PursueApp. So let me describe more about App 1. So for example, let's take MailChimp in App 1. So for example, we have a leads list on MailChimp. So when someone subscribes to that list in your MailChimp account, that subscribers will also be sent out to PursueApp. And we're going to make the automated task from PursueApp. So let's take another example. Let me choose Gmail. So let's assume you got a mail from Gmail and you also want to send it to PursueApp. So you can do the automation. So here on App 1, you can basically select whatever app you want. Even if the app is not listed here, you can just search it on the search bar. So for example, in App 1, let me take an app that is not listed here below. So let me choose Web API. I will be creating the source myself. And same goes for the App 2. I will be creating the destination source myself. Choose the instant for when, and for do, choose Post in Webhook /API integration. After that, click on Go. So for different kind of source app, there's also different kind of authentications. So for example, you have choose MailChimp. It will ask you to log in and to select the list. And here we have choose Webhook API integration, and it's saying that we have API link over here. And it will send it to your destination app. So firstly, we have to send some data, so copy this link. Now this is our API URL. Now let me edit the name and call it test22. And for the name also. And let's add another field, address. So now let's send the request. So now here below you see it says true. That means the data was sent to Integrately. Now check the box. This process is for only using Webhook /API integration. Then click on Test Connection. And you'll see here that it takes some time for the data to be reflected here. But still, let's see if it's added or not. So click See Test Record. And now it's already added here, the email, name, and address. So now let's click Continue. And it says here that your automation is ready. So click on Yes, I want to customize. So you can see here we have our source app or our custom app, and we have the test data here. So now we have to configure our destination app, that is PursueApp. So since we have selected Webhook API integration, it will ask you to put the URL for the destination. So it will be asking my destination URL. And also here you'll see a button that says Add Condition or App. So here you can also add another app or check condition after this. And here we can also add some filter. So basically, if you have different fields, you can add it here to send it to the destination app. So for this time, I'm going to delete it because we don't need it for this example. So now, go to your PursueApp installation. Firstly, you have to make a list. Or if you have a list already made, you can just select that. And if you don't have your list yet, you can easily make one by clicking on the plus icon down below. So now click on this button to view it. And you can see I already have a subscriber listed down below. It has the name and email. So now we will be testing with the new email that we have. So now let's fill up the destination requirements. First is the URL. So go to your PursueApp and on the side section, go to API and Trackers tab. So first, check if you have the API key by going to API configuration. So here is the API key. And if you don't have one, you can just generate a code. Just click on the Regenerate button. So we also have required permissions, and one of those is allow adding leads. So make sure you have checked the box right over here. So next, go to API to add leads and API test. So in this section, you'll see the API key. That's basically the same key that I have showed you earlier on API configuration. So you can just copy it from here or the other one. So going back to Integrately, firstly, we need our destination URL. So to get the destination URL, take it from here on API URL. Copy this URL and paste it here on Integrately. So for this time, we don't need the query parameters and headers. All we need is the body/data. And for here, we need to add the required fields, then the custom fields. So all the required fields are like API key, the list ID, name, and email. So firstly, let me copy API key and make sure you don't have extra space before or after the field name. Like so. So copy your API key, then paste it here. Now, click on the Add button and enter in the list ID. Now to get the value of this ID, get your list API key or list ID here. Just copy it and paste it back here. So this list ID that we have copied, all the data will be sent and listed there. All the leads will be stored in this list that we have entered for this specific app that we are creating now. So now let's add another one. The name. Now that we have provided the field here, instead of providing the data directly, we need to map the data that we are getting from the source app. And now that we have entered it from the app one, if we click on this one, you'll see the fields required, like the email, name, and address. So click on the name field. Now the next thing that we need is the email. So remember, they should not have a space in between or before and after the name field, because if not, all the data will not be stored. Now that email has been added, for this one, click on email from the source app. Now that we have taken all the required things, like API key, list ID, name, and email, and you can add additional fields, like address or anything. So now for this one, I've added address. Let me select address from the source app. And for this one, something, you can add on it manually. Now that everything is done, let's test this. So here at the bottom, you have the option to test and go live. So just click on it, and it will take some time, but basically here we have all the data. So now let's click on test and activate. And you will see the test data will be sent to our list on PursueApp. So here you'll see it's done. And if I refresh this page, you now see that it has added the Integrately 2 we have provided. You'll see the name, email, and for the other custom data that we have added, click on the eye icon and you see the additional fields. So from now, whenever I send new data from my app, that is going to be added on PursueApp. And that is how easy it is to add apps on your PursueApp using Integrately. I hope you find this video helpful. Thank you for watching, and see you on the next one.